Oh, what a glorious day. Today, guys, I'd like to talk about the digital nomad lifestyle because I've been traveling so much in the last year and especially in the last like 3 to 4 months. And I've been thinking so much about how sustainable this lifestyle is. And I believe it's not sustainable in the way that people envision it to be, in the way that people dream it up to be, and the way they think, glorify the digital nomad lifestyle. Because most people think that, you have an online business and then you travel around the world and you hop on all these flights and then you're here and then you're there and you don't have a home. And right now, I don't have a home. People think that that's the ultimate goal. Maybe I thought that was the ultimate goal at one stage as well in the beginning, and I believe we all go through different stages of being location independent. But essentially, this whole traveling thing and being here, for a few days or a week or two, and then being there for, maybe a month, and then here and over there and that continent and that country, it's maybe sustainable for a little while, but definitely not for a very long time. And it's definitely not sustainable, I don't think, for an entire life. I slowed down for quite a bit when I was based in Bali. That was like my first real home base after a few years, and that felt really awesome. I loved having a home base. I loved having a stable community. I loved having a routine. And I love Bali. Like, there was no reason for me to travel all the time because I just love being there. And so I'm looking for that again. And I believe I might have found a new home here in Southern California, but it is yet to be seen because of visa issues. It's not as easy as it is with Bali or Mexico or whatever, where you can just come and go however you like. I also see with a lot of other digital nomad friends around in my community and my friendship network, people are slowing down. People might have been without a home or a home base for a while, but then they're getting leases again, maybe for 6 months, maybe for a year, maybe open-ended. Some people are going back to their home country. It's like you binge travel for a while, and you just completely go nuts and crazy on traveling. And then eventually you just realize for yourself it's just not sustainable. And for me, the big key of why I would like to have a home base again and why I just really don't want to travel so much anymore is that I really love having community, and I love being connected to people that I have meaningful friendships with, and I love this feeling of community. I rediscovered that in Bali because I felt like I hadn't had that in quite a long time. And so when I felt at home there, and I felt more at home in Bali than I ever did in Germany, for example, which is my home country, and that's pretty fucked up kind of, if you think about it. Or maybe not, I don't think we necessarily have to feel home in the country we were born. For me, Germany never really felt home. But what I'm trying to say is that the lifestyle that I might have, had the last 3 or 4 months portraying on all my social media channels, today here, tomorrow there, and that's not what I want to communicate, and that's not what I've been wanting to communicate for a very long time, actually. For me, being a digital nomad, and I don't even want to use that word anymore, but it's really not about traveling and hopping around the world all the time. What it really means to me, this whole thing, is about designing your life the way you want it, the way it fulfills you. Being a digital nomad, that's just one kind of, one color in a rainbow, kind of, if you want to call it that. Because in the end, for me, it's really not about traveling the world. That's not my message, even though that's what I've been doing for most of my life. And for me, it's more about having the freedom to be able to make an income from, whatever place I'd like to be in. And for me, a place does determine to some extent the level of fulfillment I experience because of what it offers me or what I can find there or the people that are there, or is there an ocean, or am I like in the middle of nowhere in Germany? Or for me, it's about the lifestyle. It's not about the traveling. Traveling is just a byproduct of creating a life, of creating an everyday that you just love, because you can do whatever you want, whatever makes you happy. Setting yourself up to be able to create something that's bigger than you, and to be able to have a daily life, a routine, just whatever it is that you envision for yourself, that's just really enables you to grow, that enables you to contribute. That's what I would like to communicate. And I kind of really want to get away from the brand Connie the Digital Nomad, because, you know, I've been having this travel blog for like 5 years now, and all these journalists, they all come up to me and they're like, oh, I want to interview you about being a digital nomad and being location dependent, and yet that's just not everything that I am. It's really just one part of my life and my personality and the dream that I live, kind of. So yeah, I'm in the process of slowing down. I'm in the process of de-nomadifying my life a little bit, for sure. I don't necessarily want to be a nomad. I don't want to be identified as that very much anymore, to be honest. And I know that might sound really strange, and it feels really vulnerable to talk about this, because I have been the one, and that's what she does, that's who she is, and I kind of feel like, you know, I have this ebook course that teaches people how to be location independent, and I totally stand up for being location independent, but not just for traveling and going fucking nuts around the world. It's really about everything that I do in my ebook course and whatever I write and put out there. It's really about living your authentic life and creating a lifestyle. You know, and that can be you working from a coffee shop around the corner, or being able to spend more time with your kids, or you know, just taking maybe a 2 months workation a year, you know, whatever that might look like. But there's so many different ways of designing that lifestyle, of how that might look. Or maybe, you know, instead of living somewhere where you were born in that country where there's no access to the ocean, but maybe you love surfing like I do, then maybe you want to move to France or to Portugal, or, you know, and just having that freedom of doing that by having an online business that gives you that freedom to create that life that you want. Because in the end, yeah, for me, it's definitely about that feeling of connection and community when I'm in a place for longer, which is really hard to get when you're just like passing through. But it's really also about having a nice routine, and, you know, for health and for productivity, both of them are really important. It's about feeling more grounded. That routine and being connected to a community makes me feel more grounded. And to be honest, as a gay woman, I've been traveling to a lot of countries in the past few years that have not very open gay scenes or gay dating scenes, and that's something that, you know, has been a bit of a drawback. And yeah, I feel like I'd like to give myself a bit more time to become part of a gay community wherever I end up being. Also, to conclude, I think these nomadic phases, maybe they also come and go, you know? Like in my life, I believe I might never just be in one place for the rest of my life. I believe that I will always be someone who moves around. But maybe I'll have 2 home bases, or maybe 3 home bases, or maybe I'll be in one place for the majority of the year and do some side trips here and there, and then maybe I'm in, you know, another place for 2 or 3 months. I don't know how that exactly could look like, but I'm in the process of finding it out, what the best sort of framework for my lifestyle will be in terms of the places I want to live in. So if you guys have any questions, if you guys want to share any experience, what do you guys think? How sustainable is the digital nomad lifestyle as many people envision it and dream it up to be? Let's share in the comments. Let's connect. Put it below the video, whatever you want to say, and I'll see you in the next video tomorrow. Have a lovely day. Bye.